Hi, my name is Yaroslav. I'm from Moscow, and this is a podcast about Russia. So it's going to be also on video, and it's called Russian Podcast. So basically, you understand about what we're going to talk. So it's made for foreigners, for English-speaking people mostly. So I think maybe some of you can find it interesting. Maybe you're interested in Russia. Maybe you want to know a little bit more about them. So I'm Russian. I'm gonna talk from the inside about Russia and my thoughts. I'm gonna make some interviews with people. I have a lot of friends, foreigners. And first episode will be with Thomas. Thomas is a German guy, lives in Moscow right now. So, but currently he is in Germany because of pandemic, so he can't go back. So actually, he has a flat here. He has a Russian girlfriend. So everything right now is connected with Russia. He also studies in Russia, in Moscow. So I think we had a really interesting talk. So go ahead and listen to this. So basically, we were talking about coronavirus situation, measures that have been taken in Russia and Germany, what is happening right now in Germany. So actually, our podcast was made on the 13th of April. So I think yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, so it's actual. It's actual right now. Yeah, so about coronavirus, about his life in Moscow, about the educational system in Germany, in Russia. So that was a little bit comparative stuff, and I hope you'd find it interesting. So go ahead and listen to this, and of course, write in comments what you like, what you didn't like, what you hate, what is better to do. So any critics, write whatever you like. Subscribe to channel. I hope so there are many hopes with this channel, so this is my first try, so I hope you hope you'd like it. Okay, so listen to this, please. Hi Thomas. Again.
Hi, Yaro.
We pretend that we've just started.
Hi,
Right?
Mitishi.
Yes,
we just met in the second.
In the second, right?
And we had no problem with the internet, right?
Not at all. All right, I wanted to start with coronavirus situation because it's completely different. No, it's not that different right now in Russia and in Germany, but it was like two weeks ago, I think, like, or maybe 3 weeks ago. It was completely different. So in Russia was normal life, so everyone was like normally going on the street, like walking, going to cafes, restaurants, movies, etc. But now it's gone, so everything is closed. So everything is dead, actually. And well, you can find people, of course, on the street. So because only from last week we have to sit at home, like, strictly. So and we don't go out. We don't go to the streets so without a need. So you have to have a need, like, to go shopping or like work issues, or I don't know. So walking with the dog. So for example, yeah, we can do it. But from this week, so maybe you've heard, maybe you're aware. So we have to have a permission. So we have to go to the, like, government site, like, it's actually in Moscow and Moscow region, so not in all Russia, right? We have to say about that. Yeah, so because Russia is theoretically speaking is a federation, right?
Sure.
So yeah, so that's why we're talking about Moscow and
87 subjects, right, in the federation.
87, right?
Or 85 or 87, something like that.
I don't know.
I don't remember exactly, but something like
I
that.
think 87. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
yes,
I think it was 87. Yeah. So yeah,
it's interesting that you were talking about that, because I was also in Russia 1 month ago, and I heard all the news from Italy, from Germany, and the people were telling me there, we shut down the country, it's so bad, the situation, and so on and so forth. And I was living a normal lifestyle in Moscow. I was just going to the to the university. I was eating shawarma and so on and so forth. Right?
Shawarma.
Like nothing
Okay.
happened at all.
Yeah.
I was going to the barber, and I felt like I can see the future because I knew that it will happen not just in Italy, not just in Germany, not just in China, but it will also happen in Russia. I mean, why should it not happen in Russia, right? There's no reason. And
Yeah.
so I was talking to my barber. I was telling him he's Ihti, he's from Uzbekistan, and we speak Russian normally when I'm there.
Yeah.
So I was talking in Russian with him, bad Russian, of course. And I was telling him that it will be very bad. I was in Moscow. And he looked at me and he didn't understand it all because life was normal. Like he couldn't understand this crazy German guy who was telling him the apocalypse is coming, kind of.
Okay.
So I was explaining it to him. And then the next day I left for Germany because I could imagine that they would put in place some kind of border control, or they would not have flights anymore going between Russia and Germany. So that's
Yeah.
why I decided to go to Germany to be with my parents and so on, because they're older already. And
So that was like one day decision. So you just thought,
no. It wasn't a one day decision. It was already like I was thinking about that for 1 or 2 weeks already. Every day I was kind of making in my head what is in favor of leaving Russia, what is against it. And I was always talking to friends, to my family, to my girlfriend, and so on. What is the best solution for the situation? And some people, they wanted to convince me, just stay. In Russia, we don't have that. We have no virus here. It's just like in Germany and so on. But then in the end, I made the decision to go to Germany. And now, actually, I'm banned from entering Russia. I can't come back until at least the 1st of May. Maybe afterwards, they will loosen the restriction a little bit and then back to normal. But who knows how long it will take? Nobody knows.
yeah, that's the problem. Well, I don't know what is happening so right now. So I mean, you never know. So actually, yeah, really. So we were thinking with friends, like it was in the middle of March, that all right. So probably we will be not going to do like it in Germany, like in Italy or Spain. So because I think that was 2 weeks ago, I was talking with my friend Giacomo in Italy. He told me about permission, so about this permission certificate that you have to take before going out. And I was thinking, oh, all right, so I think it's not going to happen in Russia. So because our government, so it's not the government that takes so much risk, so and so much I don't know, responsibility for doing anything. So even now, actually, I don't know what is it in Germany. So let's talk actually about measures that have been taken, right?
Yes.
So in Germany, for example, so what can you do now, for example, like on the street, and how can you do this?
Basically, you can go wherever you want. There are no restrictions like that you have to stay in your home, that you need to have some kind of propusk, I think it's called in Russian, to
Yeah,
go
propusk.
outside. There's nothing like that at all. At some point in the end of March, they were thinking about implementing such restrictions, but then they decided against it. So now there are some recommendations. The recommendation is to stay in your home when you don't need to do necessary stuff.
Okay.
But there are no strict rules. There's no police on the street like telling you all the time to stay home. Sometimes, of course, when there is some kind of like party happening in a park, or I don't know, like then I heard the police is coming sometimes and telling those people to stop it, and maybe in some rare cases even fining them or like jailing them. I maybe even.
You mean Germany? We're talking about Germany.
It's not as strict as yes, I'm speaking about Germany, but it's not as strict as in France or Italy or other European countries where you need also this paper that is stating where do you go, why do you go out, and so on. So it's not that strict. And for me, I'm living in a small town for me, nothing changed, basically, right? I mean, I can go out to the forest. Forest is 2 minutes away, and I can go jogging there. I can go to like a shopping mall, like a small shopping mall, to buy everything. When I go there, sometimes I have a mask on, but I'm the only one who has a mask. People looking at me in a weird way, like
Oh, really?
yeah, like a lot of people can't really understand what is going on. Like a lot of people, they think when you have a mask on in a public space, you are taking it too seriously. So
That's only your small city. By the way,
yes,
name your city, please.
yes,
I never knew.
the name of my city is St. Georgen im Schwarzwald. That means St. George in the Black Forest.
In the
This
Black
is the name
Forest.
of the
Yeah,
city. It's called
Schwarzwald. Okay.
Schwarzwald. Yes,
Nice.
Johnny Les. Johnny
Yeah,
Les. Eh?
journalist.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
wow, really nice. Okay, so basically it means that it depends on the part of Germany. So I mean the measures that have been taken, right? So it means that in, for example, in Berlin, so in big cities like Frankfurt or
Mm.
I don't know, Munich, Munich, right? So this is completely different, right? So they have these permissions certificate. They have
I don't
no,
think it's completely different. Um,
no,
of course, the life for the people is a bit different because they don't have the opportunity to go to the forest that's 2 minutes away.
yeah,
So for them, the fitness studios are closed, schools are closed, and so on. They are mostly in their flats, I guess, without the opportunity to go to a garden. But they don't need any permit to go outside. They
yeah,
can go to shops wherever they want, whenever they want. So there are no regulations in bigger cities that you don't have in smaller cities. Basically, there are no regulations at all. Just some places closed, and it is recommended to stay at home. But it's not like in Paris. I have a friend in Paris, and always when he wants to go shopping, he needs to print out a paper and write
yeah,
in where he wants to go.
yeah. Right now it's in Moscow and in Moscow region.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's not like that in Germany at this point.
Why? Do you
Why?
have any explanations?
I believe that Germany is doing better in comparison with Italy or France or Spain. When we look at the mortality rate, it's not as high.
Yeah,
And generally, I guess the health system in Germany is better prepared to deal with such an emergency situation because there are many beds in the hospitals that are normally empty. Some people say it's a waste of money in normal times, but now in the crisis situation, this pays off. Like it's a pretty good system in this respect, and therefore.
little sister wants to play. Right?
Yeah. the, yeah, it's my niece actually. It's my niece.
Nice.
She
Oh,
wants
really?
to invite me to eat, but I say no way. I'm not. I'm eating a bit later. I mean, there's no problem whatsoever. But she's coming every 10 minutes and saying, "Ah, you have to eat." No, you have to eat. I don't know. Maybe it's a game for her already. So
Yeah.
we
It's for
just
sure the
ignore. Maybe
game.
I
How
just
old is she?
close the door. She's now 10. She will
All
turn
right. Yeah,
11 in the
it's totally
summer.
understandable.
Yes, yes. Where did I stop? Yeah, I wanted to explain the system, and the system deals with it pretty good. Like it's not like in New York, it's not like in Milano or some other cities. It's under control basically. Yes.
You know, in New York, actually, my aunt and the uncle lives there.
In Brighton Beach.
No, in Brooklyn.
Ah, okay.
They live there, and so they told me that so they don't really know like when someone was fined. So there are some fees, right? There are some fines, but they don't like use them. And in Russia, it's already so. I mean, it's more than I don't know how many. So many, really many, more than 1,000, I guess, in Moscow, only in Moscow. So and it's not that
Yeah.
small. So yeah, so it can be like 50 euros, from 50 euros to I don't know, to how much to 200. Yeah, 200
Okay.
euros. So it's pretty much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't get this stuff. I mean, you have fees, you have fines in Germany, and what do you need to do to get it?
You have to go to a park and maybe you make some shashliki in the park, and then some police guy would come, I guess, and he would tell you to stop it. Maybe you get a fine. Maybe he just tells you. In this situation, I can imagine the
Mhm.
party with friends, birthday party, Easter party, whatever. Then there are some examples where the police was busting the party and even arresting some people sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like for going to jail, like for like 15 days or something? No,
Maybe for the night, just
for a night. Okay.
not for many days, but
Yeah, but because it's actually it's like against the logic. If you're like taking many people and go and yeah,
all of them in the same cell.
yeah,
Right?
bring them to the prison. What was the reason to?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it can be only fine. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right. So I mean, have you read the criminal code? Like what is written, right? Not criminal code. I mean administrative code.
No.
What do you have it? Do you have
like,
it like in Germany?
Uh,
Like yeah,
sure, like
for sure. Yeah.
Strafgesetzbuch or something like that.
Yeah. This stuff.
No, I didn't read it. But so just speaking from my anecdotal evidence, kind of like what I experienced in my life.
Yeah.
In small towns, nothing changed at all. I mean, the same amount of people in the streets. Nearly nobody's wearing a mask. So in small towns, of course, school is closed. Of course, many shops are closed and so on. But
many, but not all.
Not all. Like some like little shop where you can buy newspapers was open, for example. Then supermarkets are all open. So
all right. Wow.
yeah,
Supermarkets is it's understandable. Yeah, I mean, okay. Please, can you explain me how is it going with work and stuff? Like, if you have to work, I mean, if you're like basic office worker, so how's it going with that?
most people they work from home at this point.
Okay,
they
remote.
use the same what we use right now, Zoom. Suddenly, out of nowhere, it's very interesting. Maybe you can explain it to me. I never heard about Zoom before, really.
Me neither.
I sometimes for like a podcast or something like that, but it was not like the talk of everybody. Like now, everybody is talking about Zoom, and nobody is talking anymore about Skype.
Yeah,
like it was always let's Skype together, and now the people say let's Zoom together, and for me it's so strange.
Okay.
Because it was happening in like a time frame of some weeks that everybody's talking about Zoom.
For sure. Yeah, there was like 10 million users, and now it's 200 millions.
Crazy.
Yes.
I wonder how it started. Like, who is it? Like a marketing campaign? Maybe the coronavirus is like their idea or something. Because very strange.
You know why I'm using right now Zoom, right?
Why?
Because we not only have video recording, we also have audio recording, and like after our speech, I will have two tracks.
Yeah.
Tracks, video and audio. So in Skype, I was not sure about that. So that's why it's better to use it like that. So,
yes, in Skype there's one audio recording, I believe, where both are together, and yeah, for us, Zoom is perfect. Definitely.
Yeah, and also so in Mafia, you know that because you can see like all the images. So when it's when it's Skype call, like one-to-one, face-to-face call, it doesn't matter what program you use, right? So it can be Skype, WhatsApp, I don't know, FaceTime, anything. So, but when it's conference call, Zoom is much better, really. So, sponsor of this podcast. Of course not.
Sponsored by Zoom.
Yeah, sponsored by Zoom. Yeah. What I was asking. Office worker. Yeah. So, if you're office worker, so you do remotely work, right? So you're working remotely. But what about others? Like I don't know, if you can't work online, if you can't do this remotely. So what is it with them?
Yeah, what I heard, I'm not really sure, but what I heard is that many people are still going into factories and assembling their cars and so on.
Yeah.
And what is happening is that in Germany we have the system when in a crisis the company can't pay the full salary for the employees anymore, then the government will pay all of it 80%.
All right. So
And this is what's
compensate.
happening for many companies. Yes, the government is compensating and is paying the salaries because, of course, bigger companies, they don't have enough orders for cars or for all the parts that are in the cars and so on. So, yeah, it's a difficult time for the industry right now because nobody is buying anything. All the exports to China were first lapsing and to Asia. And now in nobody's buying even. In Europe, nobody's buying. So yeah, no, right now the government is stepping in and is paying the salary to 80%. I
All
hope
right.
you heard me because
Yeah,
you're
I've heard
freezing.
you. Yeah, I've heard you.
Ah,
So,
good.
yeah. So that was a little bit, crazy with the sound, but I understood. I mean, basically, so what they are doing? I mean, I'm a lawyer, right? So I need to know everything, right?
Yes,
So no,
yes.
I mean, what is interesting for me? So, I mean, basically, there are like they're like signing any kind of agreement, right? Where like Arbeitgeber, I mean, how to say, work giver,
Employer.
employee, employer and
Yes,
employee,
yes.
So the employee so got like 50% decrease of salary, right?
Yeah,
So and they compensate that.
yes.
Yeah, we don't have that in Russia right now. So we have some kind of compensation right now for like business that works only offline, like coffee restaurants, like cafes, and I don't know, dentists, many. So this stuff like haircut, hairdresses, so this stuff. So yeah, they will have some kind of compensation, but we don't really know. So we also have some kind of taxes compensation. I mean, so they like
Uh-huh.
delaying, so you don't need to pay taxes. So also, if you're renting some place from Moscow government. So right now I'm talking about Moscow. So it's different from region to region. So yeah, so you don't need to pay for rent. So if
Okay.
landlord is a government, right?
Uh-huh.
So you don't need
Do you
to
know
pay
how many like flats are rented by the government in Moscow? Is it a huge
a
percentage
lot.
or? Ah, really? Oh, wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. So many. Well, yeah. Okay, so I mean the problem is that in Russia, so we have this problem that Putin told, okay, so we firstly had 1 week of like non-working days,
Mm.
and now we have this till 30.
1 month for holiday,
Yeah,
right?
full month. I mean, come on, who will work?
Longest holiday ever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in Germany they didn't do this, right? So they didn't say that.
No, yes, no. It's not a holiday. And in the US, also, they don't have this the system that the government is paying. So what we can see right now in the US, for example, is that so many people are losing their jobs. In the last 3 weeks, 16 million people in the US were losing their jobs. And before, it was like the peak was like 700,000 per 1 week. And now it was in 3 weeks, 60 million. So it's crazy how many people lose their jobs right now. And I think that the German system of having this like step in by the government is not so bad because the people keep their jobs. You keep social stability, and the government is paying for some time. And then, when the situation is getting back to normal, it's easier to readjust to normalcy because when the people are losing their jobs, I mean, it's different. Like they are sitting at home, and then to come back into the job market takes some time. So I would propose that in the US and in other countries, they take example with this system of paying for this time a certain percentage of the salary, and then you have the social stability, which is so important, right?
Yeah, I think it's in some countries it's the same. I think it's in Italy, in Spain, and probably France. It's probably it's some kind of the same, right?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I hope that it will be something in Russia. So because I mean that was really serious. So it seemed like Putin really didn't know that you can work remotely. Really, I mean, yeah, that was really crazy. There was like he was like, okay, this is not working days, but with full salary compensation, and like, and it was not really thinking. I mean, what? How? I mean, if you're employer, right, you have a small business, right, and you have like, for example, like up to 15 employees. I mean, how can you give them salary if your business is offline business, right? If you're like works in a like a restaurant or something. I mean, okay, you can make a delivery, but come on, you don't make much money with that, right? So yeah, because people, I don't know, get used to use some other like restaurants. I don't know. So I mean, how can you pay with them this salary? Yeah, that was
I
crazy.
heard many complaints by people who said how like medium and small sized businesses, they asked, we don't have the money to pay a month of holiday.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, surely,
they don't have money, so it's a good question.
How can
Where
you
will the money
explain?
come?
Can't you expect that? I mean, that's really understandable. And now, I mean, after that, like the press secretary of Putin told that, okay, so people who works remotely right now, okay, do this remotely. It's okay, so it's fine. And then they changed it. I mean, they changed it so the direction of like mayors and governors were like the same. I mean, only like um, firms that are working like how to say steady, they can like afford that people. So I mean, the people are sitting at home, yes, so it's okay. But people who work remotely, so it's totally okay to work remotely and get the salary. So it's okay. So you don't have problem with that. But then was the second speech, and he said that the same stuff that he said before. I mean, like no one told him. Like, come on, that was really stupid. No measures, no. So only like I think 1.5 week ago. Yeah. So we're making the podcast on the 13th of April. Yeah. So there was some measures taken, right? So yeah, so that's really interesting because I mean, come on, I understand, for example, Italy, I understand Spain, right? So they have this, like they are the first in Europe who have this problem, right? I mean, in this scale, right? Yes, but Russia, come on, so you can watch how people, like how the
It's a
governments
huge
were
advantage,
acting.
right? To see like how other cities or regions were reacting to it. Yes.
Yeah. So that's really strange for me.
What is interesting, like right now, from the outside, it looks like that the Moscow mayor Sergei Sobyanin is kind of in charge of this coronavirus situation. Like Putin is more in the background, sometimes giving speeches that are not about details or anything like that. And then Sobyanin is somehow the figure, right? That is
Mayor
deciding
of
stuff.
Moscow, yeah.
Yes. Is it true?
Well, he's in charge of Moscow, and of course, so Moscow is an example for other cities. So I mean, at the beginning of our speech, I was telling you that like we are like technically speaking we're a federation, but we all understand. I mean, people who are interested in Russia, so they all understand that. I mean, everything is going from the center, so everything is going from Moscow, and I mean, if you're a governor of like of a small city, or even if it's like a capital of the region, like for example, I don't know, Tatarstan, so it's Kazan, right?
Sure.
Some of you maybe
Beautiful
understand.
city, by the way. We
Yeah,
love
it's
Kazan.
great city. Yeah, I
Amazing
mean,
city.
Yeah, but the governor of Kazan or governor of like the whole Tatarstan can't make any decisions without the consent of the center, right? Of like original center, like Moscow. Yeah, so that's why. So Sobyanin is making some decisions. So he's doing some stuff for Moscow and other. Like taking this example for their cities, right? For their regions. For example, so it's all the same. So once it's in Moscow, like maybe 5-10 minutes, it's already in Moscow region. So, but we have two different people there, two different governors. So yeah, it's just the same. But okay, well, it's understandable because Moscow and Moscow region are really the same. So they're like close with, so they're really connected. So it's probably understandable. Yes. Yeah, but.
So most of the cases in Russia are centered in Moscow, if I understand correctly. Like the ratio is like 70% of all cases in Russia in Moscow.
Yeah. So this day we have around 11,000, and probably more than half were infected in Moscow. Yeah.
Yes, I believe like in Russia right now it's really going up. Like you have an increase of like between 10 and I heard like 17-18% per day. And this is what many people don't understand, exponential growth, right? They can't wrap their head around this concept of something growing exponentially. So in the beginning, you had like, 20 cases. And then the next day you have 30 cases. But when you have already a huge number, like 10,000.
Yeah, we're already top 15 countries.
In Russia, it's one of the most exponential growths right now happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. So you're not a lawyer, right? So you don't really know how is it going in Germany with a law system, right? Legal system. So for example, if you have like this emergency situation, like position, officially like emergency, like position, emergency situation. So or like quarantine officially. Then so government is in charge of everything what is done, right? So like if your cafe is closed, you need to be compensated, right? So but we don't even have this official like quarantine. So we have this like, I don't really even know how to translate that. So it's like how to say, I don't know, position where you have to be really ready. So like high, I don't know how to translate.
High alert
position, yeah, something like that. So it's not even legal term or something. So they've made it like they've made some in administrative code in some directions of governors. So they included these terms. So, but come on, it's not what it's in constitution, right? So it's not a like emergency position, emergency like situation, right? So, and that's why government is not in charge. So they can do whatever they want. They can give some money, they cannot. So no, it's not a podcast about like talking
like
about
the
Russia.
Podcast about coronavirus.
No, it's actually we're talking to. Of course, it's a topic. It's a topic.
What is right now happening. Everybody's interested in that.
Yeah.
But it's like every morning I wake up and the first thing I do is check the numbers.
Oh, really?
Of how many cases are there and there.
I'm trying to not do this.
In the beginning, it was like, wow, man, we're in this like situation right now. This is history. But now it's like every morning I wake up and okay, some new numbers. All right, nothing is happening. Everybody's sitting at home. Like it's this crisis, but everybody is just sitting at home, and nothing is happening really, right?
So that's happening when you don't have a medicine for that, right?
Yes, and this can take a long time. I heard a vaccine will be developed in like 12 months, maybe the earliest, maybe 1.5 years, and it just continues like that somehow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but in Germany they are right now discussing to loosen the restriction already to open up the economy. So probably in May it will change. Like, of course, we don't go back to normal, but they will open step by step. First, some businesses that are specializing in I don't know, like important things for the people, and then step by step they want to bring back the whole economy. Let's see how this works. Maybe there's a new like a surge in infections, or we will.
So I don't want to criticize Russia a lot. I mean, yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, so I'm looking, like I'm searching some news. So I read the news, so I understand how it's going in like West developed countries, right? And I don't really understand why it's not happening in Russia. So why don't they take this as an example, right? So now
But
they're
what is
taking. So
interesting
now they're doing some kind of stuff. But I mean,
yes,
but I'm not that smart guy, right? So, but why? Like 2 weeks ago, I understood that, but government didn't. So that's the question. That's the rhetorical, right?
yes. From the outside, or I mean, I was also inside. I think the Russian response was not too bad because they were acting early in January, and they were closing the border with China, and they were also already enforcing quarantine for people who were coming from China. I heard the example that some students from China, they were kicked out of the country because they weren't following the quarantine. And yeah, also, as far as I understand, Russia is testing a lot of people. Like the test.
Well, now yes.
Better and better. I believe it's like yes, it's like on the same level as US when you look at per capita. So yeah, some stuff is not bad, but Russia is a little bit behind when you look at the development.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The problem is that we have an official statistics and we have official reports, right? But you always read some I don't know, not of course not I don't know, not really official resources, right? Sources, but you always read that, oh come on, I was in Italy, for example, right, and I wasn't tested. So I wasn't tested, they didn't ask me anything.
Yes.
So and maybe they sent me like one SMS like 2 weeks later. So like, stay at home. I mean, come on, that was already late. So that's why actually we're getting this stuff. So the increasing of infection. So a month ago there was probably five infected people. I mean, yeah. So that was the stuff. Yeah.
Somebody was texting me on Facebook. It was just one SMS telling her to stay at home and so on. But on the other hand, in Germany, there were flights coming in from Iran, and Iran is one of the hotspots.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, there were still flights coming in, and nobody was checked from Iran. So it's not just a Russian problem. It's like actually, when I heard that she got an SMS, that's already something. Like I don't believe many people here get SMS and so on. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, right now I'm concerned not about the measures about quarantine or something. I'm concerned about people. So what people are getting. So if you have to stay at home and you don't have a job, you don't have a salary, what do you got? If you don't get anything, I mean, why do we need this government then? Yeah, so I mean, the famous people I've seen. So maybe you know the guy called Vasily Utkin. So the football guy,
yes,
football
the commentator, right?
Commentator.
Yeah.
And he told like, I'm sitting at home, so I don't make any money, so I don't get any compensation, right? So, and why do I need this government then? So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a little bit reactive. Probably it's a reactive speech from my side, but yeah, I'm concerned about that. So I am totally okay with the quarantine. I'm totally okay with these measures. But I mean, for example, I'm a lawyer, right? I'm a freelance lawyer, private lawyer. So courts are closed right now. So all procedures, all hearings delayed, right? So I don't get my money then. Right.
Yes.
So, but I don't get anything because I'm not a cafe. I'm not a restaurant holder. Right. So.
And the money is there. That's the nice thing about the Russian budget. They have a lot of money. Like they have a lot of reserves.
True.
So I would say they should spend it on
some
kind of
how to
measures,
say,
like
reserve. Yeah.
like the welfare fund, for example, has like billions and billions.
We have a lot of money there.
A lot of money on the bank account.
And it's
Yes.
not their money. It's like it's our taxes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So they have the money, and maybe they can spend it somehow. Like, I mean, the people need some money to pay the rent, to pay for food, and so on.
Hi.
I was just invited to eat some asparagus, and I said, no way, this is way more important today. Because we had this appointment, so we do it now.
Yeah. So, and yesterday you had Easter, right?
Yes.
Oh, how was it? Tell me about it.
Easter.
How was it? So, I mean,
we searched for some eggs, like it's this tradition. The Easter bunny is coming and he's putting the eggs all over the place. And then you have to search for the eggs. And some people find really like juicy, big eggs. Some other people, they don't find any eggs. It's very tricky sometimes. But I found like a chocolate bunny. So I was happy.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that, I mean, it's a religious fast, right? So it's really a religious fast, but people are not celebrating it like that.
The most important.
Yeah, but they don't celebrate it like that. I mean, they don't treat this event like a religious fest or something. So it's not happening like that. So it's like a fest of a tasty food and some other stuff. So, for example, I'm not religious at all. So, and we have actually next Sunday. So next Sunday we have Easter. So Orthodox Easter, right? So sometimes it's. Are you Catholic or you Lutheran?
Yes, Catholic. Yeah, Catholic. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes it's the same date with Catholics and Orthodox. Yeah, but this year it's 1 week later.
Should be celebrated. Is it also like a big feast where you search for the eggs and the Easter bunny is coming?
No, without Easter bunny, but it's actually, so we have some kind of cake. It's called kulich. So yeah, some kind of that. So it's like a cake, and on the top of the cake, it's like I don't remember what is it in English. So some kind of sweetie stuff, glazur in English. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. No worries. So it's really tasty, and you actually use it also with maybe you remember it that back in Russia, tvorozhная massa. So it's like like some kind of
tvorog.
Yeah.
Like cottage
cheese. Yeah, cottage cheese, but it's tasty. It's tasty.
I love the stuff.
It's called actually Easter, so Pascha in Russian, right?
Okay.
Easter. So, and you basically take this piece of cake and like take a little bit of this Easter, like this cottage cheese, tasty cottage cheese, right? Yeah. You like put this all together, and it's really tasty.
Nice.
We don't have this chocolate bunnies, but we have eggs, like original eggs, right? And
normal eggs.
Yeah.
The eggs,
we hit the eggs,
and
yes.
The one who has the strongest egg is the winner of the Easter, I guess. It's like always like that, like a competition in the family who has the strongest egg.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same in Russia. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. We hit the eggs. I mean, I don't know where is it the same.
Like you take one egg. Everybody gets one egg on the table.
Yeah.
And then it's a fight, and the person who has the strongest egg is like the victor. It's like
that's in Russia.
It's the same. It's
in Germany is the same. Really?
Yes.
Wow, I never know that.
And I'm winning all the time with the eggs. I don't know. Like you have to hit it with a certain angle so that you destroy the other egg immediately.
And do you use colors, like different colors on these eggs? I mean, do you dye it?
Sure. Yes, we dye it. But nowadays, most people they buy it in the shop already.
Okay. No. We always use
do this like you do it yourself. Yes. That's traditional.
Wow.
That's what we like.
Nice, really nice. No, we're doing this by ourselves always. So you can use like from onion, how to say shelf. So when you this stuff, so
yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, onion stuff like to dye it, or so you can buy some like some kind of material. So how you can dye it.
Yes.
Well, really nice, really nice. And
Same
and
traditions.
do you go, like, for example, do you go to church?
This year, unfortunately, not.
No. I mean, usually you go,
normally,
of course.
yes.
Yeah, usually.
Yes.
And
No. Usually, there's a church.
do you some kind of, like, how to say, make this food saint or something? I don't know how to describe it. Like, baptize this food.
Like, you mean somebody's coming and putting some water over it?
Yeah, this
something
stuff.
like that?
Is it?
No, actually, it's not happening. No.
That's in Russia. You know that, right?
Yeah. I saw it. You like the priest is giving like this to everything, right? Not just food, but
Yeah, for people, for
car,
food,
people.
for everything. Yeah, for everything.
Yes.
And also we have this holy water. So I think it's the same in Catholics.
Yes.
Catholics, right?
Yeah. Sure. Like in the church, the priest is sometimes coming and is spreading the water to the people, the holy water, to make them feel better, to refreshment sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Let us talk about you, okay? So you
the fun part. The fun part starts.
Yeah. So you were born in like in a small city where you right now, right? Small.
Yeah,
is it a city or is it a village?
It's a city. It's a city. In Germany, we have this distinction.
How much?
10,000 people.
10,000 people.
Then it's a city. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are on the border, but we are still considered a city.
Okay, so you have 15,000, right?
Like 15,000, something like that.
Okay, so it's close to Stuttgart, right?
Yes.
Okay. So actually, I've checked your Facebook page, and I didn't really know that you studied in US.
Yeah. I was in US.
I didn't really know that.
Oh, really? We never talked about it.
Never
talked about it. I was in US. But,
so tell me about that. I mean, there was even the university.
Oglethorpe.
Yeah,
Oglethorpe University. Yeah. It was like learning English, basically. I wasn't really enrolled in the university.
Okay.
But it was a program, like after I finished my Abitur, Baccalaureate, I wanted to improve my English. Okay. And there was this chance to go to a university in Atlanta. Atlanta is the capital of Georgia, not this Georgia,
right? Not European Georgia. Yeah.
Yes, the Georgia that we love with the Hirinkali.
Oh.
But Hirinkali and the other stuff. But the Georgia in the US, Hachapuri, yes. The Georgia in the US. And there I was living for 9 months.
Oh, really?
And I was, and I was like experiencing the American culture. They have a very specific culture in Atlanta because Atlanta is kind of the capital of Black America, a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap music, a lot of Southern cuisine, Southern hospitality, and so on. So it was a great time there. And I lived on the campus, met a lot of people, international people, also Americans. And I still, until this day, I miss the college parties. Like those parties were amazing, right? Like rap music in the fraternity. They had a lot of fraternity on the campus. And it was like a movie, like an American Pie. Maybe you know this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. It was like that. And the girls were twerking, right? You know, like this kind of stuff. So
it was after you turned.
Very interesting.
How old were you?
I was at the time 19.
19.
Yes.
Okay, so that was not right after the school. So it was a little bit after.
It was 4 months afterwards.
Okay, so because you have 12 classes, right, in Germany?
Yeah. 12 or 13? 13. Sometimes it
13
depends.
classes. Whoa, tell me
Yes.
about that. So I don't really know because we have in Russia 11. So it's the same. I mean, how can you choose like 12 or 13?
There was a reform of the school system.
Okay.
Like maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, from 13 years to 12 years. But some schools, they decided that 12 years is not enough. So they kept 13 years, and now you have like mixed system. Some schools have 13 years, some schools have 12 years. And yeah, I think it's maybe too long. 13 years is quite long time to be in school. But yeah, so it's interesting, yes.
Wow, 13 years. Wow, it's really much.
Yes, yeah,
So I
very
mean,
long, very long.
that's why. So it's totally okay when German student, like when you're like 27 and you're still student, like yeah, up
Well,
to
it's not
30.
okay. I don't think it's okay. 27 is not okay anymore.
No.
But in Russia, I mean, you finish your bachelor when you're 22.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And this is not normal in Germany. Like in Germany, or sometimes master, they finish with 23, 22, you know, it's
so
crazy.
it happens.
No, in Germany it doesn't happen. In Germany,
okay.
it doesn't happen.
Okay. In Russia,
In
no.
Russia,
22, no, but 24, yes. 24 is okay.
Yes.
I was
yes.
24 actually when I finished master.
Yes, when I will finish master, I will be 26. 26 I will be.
As
yes.
I am right now.
Yes, so it's a little bit a different mentality. Also in Germany, many people, after they finish school, they take like a gap year. They don't do anything. They travel to Australia, and there they help like the Aborigines to build some houses or something like that, or jump with the kangaroos, and then they come back. And I don't think it's in Russia like that. You go after school, you go to university.
You know why, right?
There are many reasons, I guess.
No, there is only one reason for man.
What is the reason?
We have army. So
okay,
yeah,
yes,
so we don't
sure.
we don't have a choice, right? So if we don't want to go to the university and have a gap year, this gap year will be army.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean,
you don't jump with the kangaroos, right? You go to the army.
No. I mean, I was so jealous of one guy from Germany. So you know that I used to study in Germany, like
Jena,
for half an
yes.
yeah in Jena, the small city in Thüringen. Yeah, half of the year Erasmus. How to say, exchange program? Yeah, exchange program. And I've asked the guy, so what did you do for after the school? And he told me, okay, so actually, so it's some kind of army stuff, but it's not army, it's like alternative service. So you can go to Ecuador, for example, and like help the people, like the children and something. And I was like, what the heck? I mean, we don't have this at all. So so it's so do you know what is alternative service, like civil service in Russia? If you don't want to go to army, for example, if you're like gay, or if you're philosophical, you think that so I can't take the gun in my hands, like this stuff. Yeah, so you just you will like change the toilet in the hospital. Really, literally.
That's heavy shit. Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
That's the alternative.
Wow, that's a heavy alternative.
Yeah, I mean, in Germany you have this like obligatory service, right?
It's not obligatory anymore.
Oh, really?
No, it was before, but
when
they changed it like shortly before I was in this age. They changed it happily. Before you could also choose. You either go to a hospital or to a retirement home. Then they changed shortly before I was in this age.
When did they change? I mean, I've told. I've told with this guy. So he was probably 24, maybe. Yeah, I spoke with him maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. So I don't know, maybe 5-6 years, and they changed it, right?
Yes. He was maybe on the last year. This
Oh,
could
yeah.
be.
Maybe. Yeah.
He was unlucky. Like he was.
Come on, unlucky in Ecuador. I would really go to that. So, I mean, I'm. You know that I have a dream to
learn
go to
Spanish.
Latin America.
Yes. Yes. I know.
I mean, that's the dream. I mean, people actually are applying for this job. So they're like paying money for looking to like some kind of destination of like that. I mean, but you have this as an alternative. And what I mean, you didn't have it at all. I mean,
no, I didn't have it at all. There was the possibility to do it on a voluntary basis, to go to Ecuador or to some other country, but I was going to Atlanta. I was going to US to improve my English. Yes.
And what is amazing that you know all the states. So all the states and where they situated.
Now I know why you like this video. I was like, why is Yaro liking this video? That was like 1 year ago. Now I know, because you were checking, you were making notes and so on. Now I understand.
Okay.
Wow. Now I understand. Yes. Yeah, it was a video. It was like an app where you had to guess all the US states, all the 50 US states. And yeah, I know them all.
Amazing, man. I know only like 5 states where they're situated, and only probably on the East Coast, and California, Alaska, so
Texas,
Washington,
everybody knows Texas.
Texas, of course, Florida. So yeah, that's it. Georgia also really not far.
Yes, over Florida directly.
Yeah. So where I was, I probably can.
Yes.
Can tell.
Yes. Now the new goal for me is to not do it with the 50 US states, but with the 50 Russian territories and Russian states and so on. This is gonna be more difficult even.
So probably like after Urals mountains, I think I will have many problems. Really. So European part, I think I know probably everything. But the problem is that I don't really know how they divide it, you know? So you don't have this. So maybe you have this some kind of maps where they like the regions are divided. But I mean, come on, in US that was like made with a
like it's just a square. You just have a square.
Yeah, you have square. So they made it artificially. So and the streets also for less. So that was really interesting. So where you like, let's meet like on the corner of like the 9th Street and 6th Street. So and it's like it's perfect to meet. Like that's cool.
Yes. But in Russia it's more difficult because you have like Ninets okrug. And
what's that? Again?
Like Ninetsky
okrug.
Yeah,
Ninetsky okrug. Yeah.
Like you have okrug, you have oblast, you have republic.
Different types of naming the regions.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's even more difficult, but it's my new goal to know them all.
Yeah. Krasnodarsky Krai, for example. So
Krai. Can you explain to me the differences? Because I never understood.
Idea.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a name. It's just a name.
I mean, republics are easy. Republics are independent more, right?
Some kind of I mean, probably it's connected with the constitutional law. So so with the legal system, republics can make their laws. So they can make. I mean, I can't speculate on this topic because I don't really know a lot about that. Because so I have back at the university I had this stuff, but I don't really remember about that. So probably republics, yes, more independent. So like regions, like Moscow region. So they also have their parliament, like local parliament. All the regions of Moscow have their all local parliaments. But probably republics have more. So I don't know.
I want to find out more about it, and I want to visit them all. I want to visit like all the.
You want to
places.
visit all the 87s.
That's my life goal. That's a goal for life.
And actually, guys, we have to tell that 87s, including Crimea.
Crimea and Sevastopol, right?
Yeah, and Sevastopol.
Yes, Sevastopol is its own territory.
We're talking right now what is happening in the constitution right now. So in the constitution there are 87 already. So I can argue with that. I don't know about you. So will you argue with that or not? So, but I think it's another topic, right? US. So you you had a lot of experience there. So did you travel a lot?
Yeah, we did some road trips. We were going to New Mexico one time. And now people are asking, why New Mexico? Right? What is going on in New Mexico?
What is going on in Mexico?
Did you watch Breaking Bad, the series?
No.
But some of the audience, they know what is going on in New Mexico
For
because
sure, yeah.
it's like
I know about it, of course.
Of the series, like Breaking Bad, Walter White. And we were going to the home of Walter White in the series and taking their pictures. And this was kind of our road trip. We were just driving there for 1 week to take a picture of the house in the series. This was happening one time. Then I was going to many places on the East Coast, but I was never on the West Coast, for example. I was never in Los Angeles, never in California, never in Seattle or some other place. Yes.
Okay.
I only know the East Coast really, and the Middle West and the Midwest and so on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why actually I'm talking with you? Not because of you, you're my friend, right? But also because you're expat, right? So you're studying right now in Russia. So you're not expat, right? So you're studying, but actually you have a real estate already in Russia, right?
Yes.
Basically you're an expat.
A student and I'm an expat. But I mean, expat. What does it mean? Like expat for me sounds like a 45-year-old guy who lives in another country now.
No, basically it's like qualified expert from a different country.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it.
Yeah,
qualified expert sounds good to me.
Yeah. So basically you're an international student, but you already moved to Russia and you have a girlfriend, so whom you are with like 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. So you're living together. So in your apartment that you bought in Moscow. So basically you're connecting your life with Russia right now.
Definitely. I mean, it's already connected. And it's happening very fast, actually, because the first time that I came to Moscow is just 3 years ago. Like, this was the first time I came to Moscow, and apparently I liked it so much that now I'm connected to it for a long time. Like, yeah, I'm connected long term. Like, it's not just that I'm studying there, but I hope that my job at some point will also be connected to Moscow, maybe to Germany. Maybe I can build some bridges there in whatever function is possible. Yeah. So it was quite a game changer for me when I first came to Moscow, because it opened so many opportunities and so many like ideas were clear at this point. Yeah, before, like there's a certain stage in your life where you don't know what is the future. And now it's more clear. Like I want to go into this direction to some extent. Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about your first experience in Moscow. How was it?
It was an exchange program.
Okay.
I had no idea about Russia whatsoever. No idea in my head. I didn't know what to expect. So I couldn't read any Cyrillic. And I was coming to Russia on the 7th of January 2017. And it was one of the coldest days. It was like minus 30 degrees in the street.
30?
And minus 30, yeah. No,
January, February?
January 7th.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was like minus 30 or minus 25. And
it's not always like that, guys.
Not anymore, right? Now
not anymore. So global warming.
Global warming is happening. So I wanted to be prepared, and I was wearing like special clothes to be warm and so on. Like long underwear. I bought like 2 long underwear. You know this?
Oh yeah, nice.
So I had 2 long underwear on, like a shirt, a t-shirt, and the jacket, and this and that. And I was sweating in the plane so much. So I was really, it was such a bad
I was nervous.
flight.
I mean, nervous
Not nervous, but I was just stressed too warm. I was just stressed way too warm. And then I was getting out in Moscow, and I thought, oh no, finally it makes sense that I put on all this stuff. No, it makes sense. But then I was going to the bus in Sheremetyevo airport, and in the bus there was like a heating. There was like a huge heating machine, and I was sweating again. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to wear too much warm clothes. Actually, like you always have to be flexible, right? Like change it.
Oh yeah, I mean, let me explain how is going with the locals here. So, for example, if you know that you're gonna be a lot on the street, you wear underwear, right? Like how to say,
Long underwear, right?
long underwear, yeah. So, but if you know that, okay, so it's -20, all right, but uh, almost all the time I'll be first in metro, then in the office or in the cafe and restaurant. So you basically don't do this. So now I'm getting older, so I can take it with myself. So I can take an underwear with myself. I mean, in the backpack, for example.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I mean, this year you didn't really need it, right?
No. It was gray and warm this year, right?
It is.
It
Yeah.
was very gray and very warm.
Maybe only in the like Siberia or some like really high east parts of Russia, so the east or north.
North. Yes.
North, yeah. So they can be cold enough for you, yeah. But Moscow, it's like middle temperature, so
it's getting warmer and warmer every year. Like
it is. It's actually in the world, I guess.
Yeah. Probably in the world.
Global warming.
Global warming is happening. Yes. For Moscow, it's not maybe the worst thing ever, right? To have some better temperature. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So you came for an internship for how long?
No, I was coming for exchange. Exchange.
Exchange. Mm-hmm.
Exchange semester. I was for 6 months.
6 months. So that was semester. From your university, right?
University, yes. And I was doing courses in Vyshaya School of Economics.
Karlshochschule International University.
Yes. It's in Karlsruhe, my old university. It's like the second biggest city in Baden-Württemberg, the state in Germany.
Yeah. Really nice building, actually. So really old, like a castle.
Very old castle, but small city. Basically, it's a small city still. It's like as big as Mytishi, maybe. I don't know. Like the same size as Mytishi.
Mytishi has 200,000.
Yeah, Karlsruhe has 290,000.
Okay. Yeah, basically the same.
Basically the same, yes. And then when I was in Russia, I decided that I want to do my master also in Russia, and then I applied for master in Vyshaya School of Economics, and that's why I'm now
High School of Economics.
High School of Economics, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and now I am a master student and writing right now my master thesis. So I hope to finish soon with it.
You came to Russia first, so that was really cold. So people were like all the time like closed in the closed position. So because it was really like cold, they don't really want to talk or something. So how was it?
I mean, the first like month, I just wanted to survive actually because I mean, it was like I would say in some respect a culture shock, like because it was so cold. And because I didn't know anything about Russia or the Russian culture, so I tried to survive 1 month. And then when the spring was coming, like in March, April, like we have nowadays, then I got more used to the place that I was living in, and I was getting better. Like it was making it was fun to be around, and Moscow is a nice city, especially when you're an exchange student, because you have so many nice places to go partying. You have so many opportunities.
Moscow is big. Yeah, Moscow.
You live in a dormitory.
Offers.
Yes, you live in a dormitory.
Oh yeah,
with so many interesting people from all over the world.
Did you have like a pal, like student pal? What you have in Germany, for example, like they like offer you a guy who helps you like to get used to like circumstances, like student circumstances, city.
And by the way, you know what was so funny? Last time when we played Mafia, there was a person in the chat that was called Daria Smirnova.
All right.
I believe she was my buddy in High School of Economics.
No way, really?
My buddy was called Daria Smirnova.
You mean the chat in Telegram?
And no, I mean last time Zoom. When we played Zoom, there was
Daria, there wasn't any Daria.
Like she was there, but then she left because like we had to start again. And I just saw the name Daria Smirnova.
Oh, really?
I think maybe it's the same, maybe it's a different. Maybe
yeah. So like
Daria.
this last name is really popular.
Maybe.
So
and Daria is also very popular.
Yeah, Daria is also. So I
who
think
knows,
if you search like in the like Russian internet, like Runet, so
Yes.
you will find many Darias. But I'll check that. I'll check it. If you want to check
I also have to check. I also
it's
want to
interesting.
check.
Yeah.
That would be such a coincidence.
So you because of Wishka, right? Because of High
Yes.
School of Economics. So you you had it. So exchange semester. So was it like Erasmus or what was the program?
No, it was it Erasmus? I'm not even sure if it was Erasmus. I mean, I had many events with Erasmus. Like they have like a group there, Erasmus, and they prepare parties and so on. But yeah, for my university, it was mandatory. Everybody had to go to a different country, and I had the choice between what was it, UK, Russia, I think France, and because I was already in the European countries, I decided to go to Russia because I had no idea what was going on. So I'm not sure if it was Erasmus or whatever it was. It was just exchange semester. Yes.
Exchange program was also in Vishka, right? Also in the High School of Economics.
Okay. Also in high school.
All right. And what did you study? So
I could choose different fields. I could choose whatever I wanted, basically. Like my university was giving me a catalog of study subjects for this year, and then I had to find myself what would fit with this subject.
Okay.
So I could study whatever I wanted, and I studied some interesting stuff. Like I took a class in like the history of art, for example.
All right.
And
nice.
Normally I study politics and economics, so it was a different experience, and I really enjoyed it actually. Like to have like those subjects that I never had before.
How can you describe the atmosphere in the university, and what I don't know, maybe something that surprised you? What was in Moscow?
So you have to keep in mind that my university in Germany was very small. It had like 600 students, something like that. It was a baby university. When I was coming to HSE, it was a change because HSE is one of the biggest and also one of the best universities in Russia. And I said, maybe you don't want to agree because you're from MGU, right?
No, true. I mean, you know that I made master in
HSE.
Yeah,
yes.
HSE.
So you know both words, like MGU, HSE.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a big university. What was very interesting for me is that so many different places to go all the time. Like every subject was in a different building at this point. So the biggest challenge for me was to find the buildings where I have to go to. And I had to navigate Yandex, Metro, Yandex app, and so on. So I was like most of the time just searching for the buildings to go into.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the university itself, like many young, bright, talented people, I would say. Yeah, I mean, not comparable to the university where I was in Germany because it's way bigger. I would say it's like somewhat the creme de la creme, right? I don't know if this is a saying. Like the elite of Russia is studying there to some extent. So very interesting people you could meet. Also, this ESN network. They have a huge ESN network. They were preparing parties like back to the USSR party, this party, that party. Many international students. So, I mean, what not to like? I would recommend this university to everybody, definitely. Very liberal university. Like, I heard in maybe some other Russian universities, you have some more traditional ways of teaching. But at Vishka, I would say it's very European, very Western way. I mean, it was founded in 1992.
Agreed.
Like the idea of it is to be emulating some ideas from the US, some ideas from the West. And yeah, now they have a new building.
In the heart of Чистые пруды. Yeah, Покровка.
Yeah. And it's amazing building. So
In the heart
if
of
somebody
Moscow.
listens to it and they want to have a great experience, a great university, they should try to go into Vishka. Definitely.
Yeah, it's really young university, so we have to say. So, for example, we were talking about the second one where I've graduated. So it's Moscow State University, Lomonosov Moscow State University, and this is the oldest university in Russia. So and yeah, so it has a lot of traditional stuff. So but Vishka, so they got a lot of traditional stuff also. So like traditional university, but they got a lot, like maybe most of like practice from European or US, and for example, like student life and like outside the university life, it's much better than in Moscow State University, I have to admit, really. So because even I actually went to Germany as an exchange student from Vishka, because it was really easy to sign up. So it was really easy to apply. So there were many notifications, many like how to say information stuff. So and in Moscow State University, you have to be interested in that. So you have to search always. If you really want to do anything, you have to search. So I mean, it's completely understandable. But Vishka gave me the opportunity. So I'm like, for example, you think, okay, so maybe I can go somewhere. Oh wow, I found it. So it's way too easier to understand, to get this information. And they have this international center also, where international students can go and ask anything they want. So about the program, about the life, I don't know, anything. So that's really cool. So after after that, I went to Germany, in Jena, the small Friedrich Schiller University. So small university. No, actually, it's a big university. So some kind. Yeah, but I mean, really one of the oldest, right, in Germany.
I don't really know, to be honest, but Jena
Okay.
is maybe
It
it's a
is a
nice
student
city.
city. In student city.
Yes.
Have you been?
Uh, no, not in person, but I can
You've
imagine it's
heard, yeah,
nice.
you've
Yes,
heard.
I heard this.
Yeah, so I also met a lot of people. So they helped me a lot. So there were every day there was some such events, like there was like Stammtisch.
Yes,
So how can you translate that? I don't know, when
stammt.
you get together table. Yeah.
Maybe just a German.
So basically, yeah,
I
it's
don't think
just a
there's an
place where you
English
get
translation.
together. Yeah, when you get together, like talk, chat, like have interesting talks, drink beer, etc. So also we had like, I don't really remember how was it. How was it? So it was I don't know, the day where the other cultures were presented. So and there were many international students. So for example, one day there was about Ukraine, one day about Russia, one day about Georgia. I mean, many countries, and there were a lot of people. So Italy also. So they prepared some food. They talked about culture. That was really cool. And I think that was the same stuff in Moscow with the HSN E
Yes,
HSE.
there was so much going on, and they were putting so much effort into it. Like it's amazing. I just want to say thank you to them that they cared so much for the students that were coming there. Without them, maybe the experience would not be that great. But I mean, really, like taking my hat. I don't know how to say that in
Yeah,
English, but
yeah.
really, chapeau.
Did you have some troubles with living? So I mean,
Mm,
yeah. So you were in dormitory, right?
yes.
Was it this dormitory like outside the city, or it was in the
No,
city?
this I was very lucky with the dormitory. I was in VDNH. Basically, I was living next to VDNH.
Yeah, north, like some kind of north part of Moscow. Yeah.
Yes, like from there, 20 minutes, and you're in the city center. So it was an amazing location, and also the dormitory where I was located was pretty decent compared to other dormitories that I saw afterwards. Um, and I was living with one guy sharing the room from Bulgaria. We're still friends nowadays. And yeah, probably lucky with the dormitory, lucky with the location, lucky with the person that you live with. Yeah, I like the cup that you have right now.
Yeah. So
all the memories are coming back up from 2018. But yeah, when you share a small room, like in a dormitory, and you don't like the other person, also.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yes.
let us explain what dormitory system we have in Russia and, for example, in Germany compared to Germany, right? So you didn't live by yourself, so you didn't have your own room, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
So
shared
that's
with.
come on, that's the biggest difference from European,
Yes.
probably. Yeah, you're like West developed European countries, dormitory, and Russia. So you don't live by your own. So on your own, I mean, yeah. So you you have a neighbor, and sometimes it's not one neighbor. Sometimes it's not really big room.
Yes.
So and you have four beds. Actually, you don't have even room for studying or something. So yeah, now it's getting better. Yeah, so we have to admit. But for example, so when I was a student, so actually originally I'm from Moscow, so I don't need a dormitory. But a lot of my friends were not registered and born in Moscow, right? So they lived in the dormitory. So and I I went to them, right? So as a guest. So and some of the dormitories were awful. So it was like with the cockroaches, like with bad wallpapers, like with really bad circumstances, and the kitchen was like it could be like different level of, I mean, different etage.
Yeah.
Say level. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah. This is the problem, that some of the dormitories are not in the best shape. So in this respect, I was very lucky that I had dormitory that was in okay shape, especially when you consider the money that you have to pay.
Oh yeah.
Like you have to pay per
It's
month.
almost
Like
for free, right?
when you compare it to euro or dollar, like 10 or 15 euro, something like that. So yeah, you get what you pay for. Let's say like that. And in some places, it's.
I mean, do you have a choice? I mean, either you rent or you pay for a dormitory, right? But of course, as a student, you don't have a lot of money for rent. But rent in Moscow, especially, is pretty high, right? So
yes,
it's not that.
It's very interesting. I was talking to some exchange students that were coming this semester to another university in Moscow, and they have to pay per month like 300 euro or 400 euro, something like that. And I was shocked. I was really shocked.
For a dormitory?
I don't know what was going on there. Yes, for dormitory. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know what was going on there. Maybe they were ripped off. I have no idea what.
Well, basically, it is like in Germany, right? Because I remember that I've paid 300 euros. Yeah. So.
Yes.
But I have my own room. So yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that my dormitory was the shittiest one. I mean, compared to others in Vienna. But for me, that was the best one, because usually how you have dormitory like apartment style. So you have like a big apartment with 6 or 7 rooms, right? So you live alone, so in your room, but the kitchen is like for everybody, and also kitchen and also like a shower and a toilet, like maybe 2 toilets for this room, right? But my dormitory, so it's called like I had Einzelzimmer, so it means like one room for yourself, right? So and so I had there even a fridge and the small stuff where you cook. I forgot how do you call it? Yeah,
stove. Yes,
stove. Yeah. So enough place for like a table and a room, so and a bed. So that was perfect for me. But there were probably no Germans there. So in this dormitory, so there was 2 floors, and I think seen only one German guy there.
Oh.
So only one German guy. Other were like from India or from South of exchange students, like from Slovakia, from other like countries, but not from Germany. So yeah, because it was the cheapest one, but still it was okay. It was really okay. The only one problem was that when you go to the shower, so I think it was 2 showers for a floor. Yeah, because of the Indian guys and girls, so they left a lot of hair there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, compared to Russian dormitory, so it's not even a problem.
Yeah, definitely. In my dormitory in Russia, there were also a lot of hairs. That I can say, like a lot of hairs.
And did you cook like outside your room? So you had like a special
We had a kitchen, but I was nearly always going to fast food. I was eating fast food a lot of times. KFC, Burger King. So I wasn't cooking that much. I was
okay.
No.
All right.
I'm not a great cook.
But I mean, if you cook for yourself, you don't need to be a great cook, right?
Yes.
So you always can cook. By the way, did you try grechka?
Yes, I like grechka.
How do you call it in
buckwheat?
Buckwheat. Okay.
Buckwheat. I love it. And I was going to a solovaya. Sometimes there are some cool solovayas that are like in the Soviet Union style. I love it. There
it's great. It's great.
Grechka, like all those dishes. So I was a happy человек when I was going to the stores.
Happy человек. Happy man. All right. Nice. Yeah. So you've been to St. Petersburg.
Yes.
You've been to, right? So there are a lot of dinner rooms right in the heart of the St. Petersburg, and it's cheap. So we don't have it in Moscow, for example, right? There are not a lot of places for students just to eat cheap and like tasty and to be.
They're like hidden in Moscow. There are some places, but they're hidden. They're not so famous. I would say.
True.
Like I know, like I have this place where I always go to. When I have university in this area, I go to this place. And it's amazing, really. But I don't want to tell the name because then everybody goes there and then it's not the same. Like
in the center?
Just workers. Yeah, it's Kurskaya metro station.
Okay, yeah, pretty center. Were you surprised with someone?
By the food?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, grechka taste is very special. It's like soil a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh well, I don't really eat a lot of soya. Well, I use soya sauce. So.
No, I mean soil, like Erde. Like simile.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Earth.
Like this.
Yeah. So
I don't know how to describe.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Ground.
Just a very special taste.
No, it's not that. I mean, it's not that bad. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that if you're, so if you eat like grechka, right? So it's a special taste, right?
No, it's good. It's good. I like it.
It's good, but I mean, you have to.
I like it.
You have to eat it with a sauce or with some kind of. So you don't eat it like just grechka, right? So you eat it with a chicken or with like other meat. So or like you use some mushrooms or onion there. So especially if you have, for example, you ate it in the evening, right? And you have a little bit left in the morning. You can like put it on the on a plate, right? So and like get some eggs there. So and so it's good. It's still good. You even can eat it with milk, right? So as a porridge.
Yeah. You can use it for whatever you want. That's why people buy it in the crisis, right? Like
that's another topic. That's another topic. Yeah. So people are crazy. Yeah, about coronavirus again, right? So
to make a full circle, right? We started with coronavirus, now we end with coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, toilet paper. I know that in Germany people are buying. What else?
Yeah, it's a huge deficit. unfortunately, people, they have this phobia of not having enough toilet paper. So
Crazy.
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like some person goes into the shop, buys 20 packages of toilet paper, and then some other person doesn't have enough toilet paper because of that. That's a problem right now. What other stuff? People are buying a lot of pasta, like Barilla
So
pasta,
macaroni, right?
macaroni, spaghetti, and so on.
Okay, so because they don't have Grechka, right?
No Grechka, no
No
Grechka.
Grechka. Yeah. So yeah, in two products in Russia, it's toilet paper also and Grechka. But now it's okay. Now actually, for example, I think 2 days ago I was in the supermarket and there was too much Grechka.
Wow.
So
wow.
yeah, there was a lot. I mean, when supply is over than demand.
Yes.
So, but like 2 weeks ago there was none of Grechka.
Oh,
So
everybody can have enough Grechka again. Everybody can be happy.
I mean, what are stupid people? I mean, you can wash your ass with the water. Come on.
Yeah. It's true. But the problem is, it's like a mass hysteria, and then it's happening. Like what the people like, the fear is becoming reality. There is enough toilet paper for everybody, but then when people buy too much, some people will not have no toilet paper, and then they are getting angry. Then next time when they go to the shop, they buy so much toilet paper. So it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's the same with the antiseptic.
Yeah.
So,
Are there still masks and antiseptics to buy
yeah.
in Moscow?
No. I think it's not possible. For example, my girlfriend actually, she's looking for. I mean, as an administrator of the company, right? So she's looking for back office. So back office products for an office for her company. She's looking for like many stuff and also masks, antiseptics, and it's really hard to find. I mean, if it's like how to say business to so B2C, right? So you can't find it, but B2B it's hard, but you can.
Okay. Yeah.
And now many people are trying to make money with that. So they are trying to find the material. They're making by their own these masks. So it can be shitty.
Sure.
So
do you have some?
I have actually. Yeah, my girlfriend took some from her job, so it was okay. Yeah. So, but I don't use it because I don't really go a lot of from the street. So I just go to the supermarket. It's like 20 meters from my home, and so I don't really talk with people like really close. So I make a distance now in all supermarkets, in all places where the people are. There are like 1.5 meters distance, like tape.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to obey this rule. So but actually, even in a small city like Mytishi, so actually, guys, it's 5 kilometers from Moscow, so it's really close.
Yeah.
So you can
it's
get,
like
for
a
example,
part of Moscow, right?
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So I checked that from my home to the closest metro in Moscow, it's 25 minutes of like roadie. With the car, it's even less. I think. Yeah. So even in the small city of Mytishi, there are now almost like the second. Every second guy wears mask.
Good. I liked it. This is very good. That's very good.
Yeah. I don't know where. I don't know where did they find it. Yeah. Where?
Well, it's good that they use it. I mean, it's like some people, they believe they look stupid when they have the mask. It's not cool to have a mask.
Come on. We're talking about Moscow and Moscow region. Other parts, no way. I mean, come on. Yesterday there was a fest in Russia, not Easter. So it's I don't know how to translate that. So usually you have some kind of plant. So it's called verba. So I don't really know how to translate it. Yeah. So and we called it like Verba Sunday.
Soft plant, right?
Yes, Verba Sunday. So and people are going to the church, so they are praying. So I don't know. Usually they go, but of course yesterday they can't go. They're not allowed to go, but they went a lot of people in different regions, different cities, and of course there was no distance at all. So like that was really stupid that some of the servants, like church servants, they were really offended because some people were fined because of that, because of not because of going out on the street without a reason, like big reason, right? So yeah, I mean if you're concerned about the like fines, why don't you concern about the health of people? So
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much about coronavirus.
Unfortunately, I get again kind of like the messages from the rest of my family that I have to eat something now.
Yeah, for sure, my friend.
I mean, we're talking nearly for 2 hours. Maybe
for sure, my friend. You know what? I think we're actually covered a lot of topics. I just actually.
You know what is important? To not say everything at once. Like you have to be a little bit the mystery, right? Like
so maybe we will have another talk. So because we didn't discuss about why actually you pick Russia. Why did you pick Russia? Why?
I mean, that's a very good question.
Yeah, and also we didn't talk about politics. I know that you're really interested about politics in Russia. I
love to talk about politics.
Yeah, in Russia and of course international politics. It's your major, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe we can do this. Yeah, man, that was a pleasure to talk with you. I hope that this connection problems will be.
Let's see.
Not
let me
really
know.
Hard,
let me know if it's okay or not.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you again. Also, yeah. So, my friend, I hope to see you in Russia soon.
Yes. See you soon.
Yeah. My friend.
I hope so. I hope they let me in at some point. Right?
For sure, they have to. So I'll ask them. Yeah, my friend. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.
Yes. All right. Bye.
All right, that was our talk with Thomas. I hope you'd like it. I think there's going to be part 2, as I've said in the podcast, because we didn't talk a lot about his stay in Russia, in Moscow, why actually he chose Russia as his, I don't know, as his future, right? And there's going to be more interviews. As I said, please write in the comments what you think it's better to discuss, what is better to talk about, what cliches you have. I think I'm going to cover many topics. So, and subscribe the channel, of course. I don't know how to say this, like put likes, subscribe the channel, and write in comments, of course, what you think about this episode and what is better to do next. All right, see you.